Hello everyone, welcome to Physics Online Classes for Class 11 students. Let us continue Chapter 12, Thermodynamics. In the first session, we have studied introduction part regarding the chapter Thermodynamics. So in the second session, we are going to study about isothermal process and adiabatic process. Let us start the class. So first we have to know what is isothermal process. We already studied isothermal and adiabatic process definitions in the introduction class that you can remember. Isothermal, iso means the same, thermal means heat energy. Heat energy remains the same. That means there are totally three thermodynamic variables: temperature, pressure, volume. In that, here in isothermal process, we are going to keep temperature as constant. Pressure, volume undergoes changes. So that process is called isothermal process. Yes, what is isothermal process? It is a thermodynamic process in which the pressure and volume of the system change at constant temperature. In isothermal process, temperature is constant but volume and pressure undergoes changes. So this is called isothermal process. Then, how this process takes place we can study. Explanation of isothermal process. Let us consider a gas in a cylinder of conducting walls provided with a conducting piston. You can observe this diagram. I am going to consider a cylinder. This cylinder is enclosed by piston. Here this is a piston. It is enclosed by piston. The walls of this cylinder as well as the piston both are made of conducting material, or we can call it as a diathermic wall or conducting walls. So when it is made of conducting wall, then exchange of heat energy takes place, exchange of matter and heat energy takes place between system and surrounding. So we are using conducting wall. So first point, when the gas is allowed to expand suddenly, so we have to expand the gas. It means the piston we can take out of the cylinder. When piston is moving outside the cylinder, right? So that the gas is expanded suddenly. So when the gas is expanded suddenly, then its temperature decreases, because when a gas is expanded, volume increases, pressure decreases, heat is released. When heat is releasing to the surrounding, temperature decreases. Is it clear what happens here? When piston is moving outside, you can observe the process. We are going to move the piston. Where we have to move here? We have to move the piston outside the system, means in the upward direction. When it is moving in upward direction, gas is expanded. Gas expanded. When a gas expands, what are the changes occurs? When a gas is expanded, volume increases. It is expanded, volume increases, pressure decreases. And so that the heat is released here. Heat is released or liberated. When heat releases to the surrounding, because it is made of conducting wall, so heat is releasing from system to the surrounding. When heat releases, temperature decreases, right? But in isothermal process, we have to keep the temperature as a constant. To keep temperature of the gas as a constant, what we can do? So here, to keep the temperature as constant, this gas can absorb heat from the surrounding. Certain amount of heat energy is liberated to the surrounding here. To keep temperature as constant, certain amount of heat energy enters into the system. So again temperature of the system remains constant, and this process takes place suddenly here. Is it clear? Then next point. When the gas is allowed to compress suddenly, so when we compress the gas, exactly the opposite process. When we compress a gas, what are the changes occurs? Volume decreases, pressure increases, temperature also increases, because the heat is absorbed here. Temperature increases, but to keep the temperature as constant. So what it is doing here? The system or the gas loses heat to the surrounding. Certain amount of heat energy is liberated to the surrounding, so that again temperature remains constant. So this is isothermal process. Remember, so this isothermal process, it consists of a cylinder. Cylinder contains a gas, and this cylinder is enclosed by the piston. Piston and cylinder both are made of conducting material, so that exchange of heat takes place. First point, when the gas is expanded suddenly, gas is allowed to expand. It means piston is moving in upward direction, gas is expanded, volume increases, pressure decreases, temperature also decreases because heat is liberated to the surrounding. But in isothermal process, we have to keep temperature as a constant, so that this system will absorb heat energy from surrounding. Again, the temperature remains constant, pressure volume changes. Then second point, when the gas is allowed to compress suddenly, means piston is moving inside the cylinder, gas compresses, volume decreases, pressure increases, temperature also increases. But we have to keep the temperature as a constant, so that certain amount of heat energy from the system is liberated to the surrounding. So temperature decreases, means the temperature remains constant. So this is all about the isothermal process. Then what are the conditions required for isothermal process? The first point, the wall of the cylinder and the piston both must be perfectly conducting. This is the first condition. The wall and the piston both should be made of perfectly conducting material, so that exchange of heat energy takes place, temperature remains constant. Then second condition, there should be free exchange of heat between system and surrounding. Yes, if heat exchange takes place freely between system and surrounding, then temperature remains constant. Then third condition, the system should be compressed, or the system should be allowed to expand very slowly, so that there is a sufficient time for the exchange of heat between system and surrounding. So, isothermal process should take place very slowly. If the process takes place slowly, so that there is a sufficient time for the exchange of heat between system and surrounding, so temperature remains constant. Remember, these are the three conditions for isothermal process. Then, the PV diagram of isothermal process, we already know that PV diagram is a graphical representation for two thermodynamic variables, and they are pressure and volume. We know that as volume increases, pressure decreases. This is the graphical PV diagram representation for isothermal process. In isothermal process, temperature is constant. So when volume increases, pressure decreases, or when volume decreases, pressure increases. This is PV diagram for isothermal process. Then what equations we are using in isothermal process? We are using perfect gas equation, PV equal to mu RT. What is P here? P is pressure, V is volume, T is temperature, mu is number of moles, and R is universal gas constant. For 1 mole of gas, mu equal to 1. So the equation becomes PV equal to RT. So this perfect gas equation we can use in isothermal process. Is it clear? What is isothermal process? Explanation of isothermal process, conditions, PV diagram, equations. Right? Then the very important derivation, expression for work done in isothermal process. We are going to derive an expression for work done in isothermal process. So this derivation carries 5 marks for your board examination. So now I am going to consider ideal gas in a cylinder. So we know that, so this cylinder contains ideal gas, perfect gas, and it is enclosed by the piston. It contains ideal gas. completely. The wall of the cylinder and the piston both are made of conducting material. It is a perfectly conducting wall, so that exchange of heat energy takes place between system and surrounding. Now, the gas is heated at certain temperature. We can consider temperature is T. Work is done by the gas in moving the piston. So we are doing work. Work done is in the form of movement of the piston. When we are moving piston inside the gas, gas is compressed here. When piston is moving upside or outside, so that gas is expanded. So work is done on the system. Work is done by the system. Remember, work done on the system means compression of the gas. Work done by the system means expansion of the gas. That work done, generally it is denoted by the symbol dW, small amount of work done. So here we are moving the piston. The displacement takes place here. Initially the piston was here. Now it comes to the another position from point A to point B. So this is what distance between the movement of the piston. Let us take it as dx. To move the piston, we need certain force. Force is applied on the piston. Piston is moving inside with a certain distance. So force into displacement is called work. So work done to compress or to expand the gas by the movement of the piston. So let us consider work done equation here. I am going to consider work done is equal to, what is work done? The product of force and displacement. Force into displacement is called work done. Or we can write it as dW is equal to, so force F into displacement is dx. So here instead of using force, I am going to use pressure. You can observe what is pressure. Pressure is force per unit area. So F equal to, we can write pressure into area. So in place of F, I am going to consider pressure into area into distance dx. Right? Or we can write it as dW equal to pressure keep as it is, area into distance, that gives volume. So volume means what here? Side into side into side, length into breadth into height, or area into displacement, that gives volume. So we can write it as P into dV. Small amount of work is done. So there is a small change in the volume of the given gas. Is it clear? What is the equation here? So dW equal to P into dV. Let us take it as equation number 1. This is a small work done. Now we can consider total work done by the gas. So now I am going to consider total work done by the gas when it expands. If work is done by the system, by the gas will be expanded. When it expands when the gas is expanded, its volume increases. So we can consider it is expanding from initial volume V1 to the final volume V2. So when this gas is expanded from V1 to V2, then how to write total work done? So total work done means we go for integration. So integrating equation 1. Integrating equation 1 with respect to time to get a total work done. So we can write integration of dW is equal to integration of P into dV. So here the volume is changing from V1 to V2. So we can write V1 to V2 as a limit. Is it clear? So integration of dW, that gives a total work done. W is equal to integration of P into dV from the limit V1 to V2. Let us take it as equation number 2. Now we have to solve equation number 2 to get total work done in isothermal process. So to determine equation 2, I am going to use perfect gas equation. For 1 mole of gas, For 1 mole of gas, we know that perfect gas equation is given by PV equal to R into T. Or we can also write it as P equal to RT volume. We can take on RHS side, it will go to denominator RT divided by V. Let us take it as equation number 3. Is it clear? So now in equation number 2, you can observe equation 2P into dV. In place of P, we can write equation number 3. So put equation 3 in equation number 2. Substitute in equation 2, what we can get? Observe here equation 2. W equal to integration of P into dV from the limit V1 to V2. This is equation 2. So substitute in place of P as W equal to integration of, what is P here? P means R into T divided by V into dV from the limit V1 to V2. So let us take constant terms outside. Universal gas constant R is taken outside. Temperature in isothermal process, temperature is also constant, take outside. Remaining is 1 by V into dV from the limit V1 to V2. Right? So now we have to solve this equation. W equal to RT key capacities. So integration of 1 by V, it is of the form integration of 1 by X into dx. Integration of 1 by X into dx is equal to log X. So this you have to study in integration in mathematics. You can remember that standard equation. Integration of 1 by V is equal to what? Log V. So log V from the limit V1 to V2. Is it clear? So now let us apply the limit. W equal to R into T capacities. Apply the limit, upper limit minus lower limit. Log V2 minus log V1 to the base E. Right? This is to the base E. Log V2 minus log V1, upper limit minus lower limit, or we can write it as W equal to RT capacities. It is of the form log M minus log N. So log M minus log N equal to log M divided by N. So we can write here it as log of V2 divided by V1 to the base E. Because it is of the form, you can observe log M minus log N is equal to what? Log of M divided by N. So we got this equation. So W equal to R into T capacities log of V2 divided by V1 to the base E. So this is to the base E. We know that. Observe here log X to the base E is equal to 2.303 log of X to the base 10. Is it clear? Here it is having base 10 and here it is having base E. Log X to the base E can be written as 2.303 into log of X to the base 10. So therefore, above equation can be written as W equal to RT capacities. Here it is base is exponential E here. I want base as 10. So we can write 2.303 log of V2 divided by V1 to the base 10. Right? Or we can write W equal to 2.303 into RT into log of V2 divided by V1 to the base 10. So this is a total work done in isothermal process. So what is the final equation? W equal to 2.303 RT log of V2 divided by V1. Similarly for pressure also you can write the direct equation. Here I am going to write W equal to 2.303 RT capacities log of, in place of V2 and V1 we can write P2 divided by P1 to the base 10. This is for pressure. So this is total work done in isothermal process. Similarly, the next part is adiabatic process. So adiabatic process we already studied. The definition in introduction class that you can remember. In adiabatic process, temperature, pressure, volume, all the three variables undergoing a change, but there is no exchange of heat energy between system and surrounding. Then how to define adiabatic process? It is a thermodynamic process in which pressure, volume and temperature of the system change, but there is no exchange of heat between system and its surrounding. In adiabatic process, we are using insulating material, non-conducting wall, because no exchange of heat takes place between system and surrounding, but all the three variables undergoes change. Now, how this adiabatic process takes place, that you can observe. Consider a gas in a cylinder of insulating walls provided with an insulating piston. Here you can observe the diagram. We considered a cylinder. Cylinder contains a gas. It is enclosed by piston. Here the wall and the piston both are made of insulated material or non-conducting material, so that no exchange of heat energy takes place between system and surrounding. The first point, when the gas is allowed to expand suddenly. The gas is expanding suddenly means the piston is moving in upward direction. The gas is expanded, volume increases, pressure decreases, temperature also decreases. So you can observe when the gas is expanded suddenly, temperature decreases, volume increases, pressure decreases, temperature also decreases. Since the system is insulated, no heat enters the system. All the three variables undergoes a change, but there is no exchange of heat energy. So temperature changes here. All the three variables are changed. When the gas is compressed suddenly, temperature of the gas increases. When the piston is moving inside the cylinder, gas compresses, volume decreases, pressure increases, temperature also increases, since the system is insulated. No heat escape to the surrounding. So here the amount of heat energy increased here, temperature increases, but there is no place for the liberation of the heat energy from system to surrounding, because wall as well as a piston is made of non-conducting material. So this is adiabatic process. Then what are the conditions required for adiabatic process? The first one, the wall of the cylinder and the piston must be perfectly insulated. Yes, wall as well as a piston both should be made of non-conducting material, so that no exchange of heat energy takes place. All the three variables are changed in the process. Second condition, there should not be exchange of heat between system and surrounding. So in this process, there is no exchange of heat energy between system and surrounding, because the walls are insulated material. Then third point, the system should be compressed or the system allowed to expand suddenly, so that there is no time for exchange of heat between system and surrounding. Remember, adiabatic process must take place very faster. Isothermal process must take place slowly, but adiabatic process must take place very faster. When it takes place suddenly, there is no sufficient time for the exchange of heat energy, so it will be adiabatic process. So these are the three conditions for adiabatic process. Then PV diagram for adiabatic process. So here also we considered PV means pressure and volume variable. Temperature is changing here, but as volume increases, pressure decreases. This is for adiabatic process PV diagram. And the equations for adiabatic process. What equations we are using in adiabatic process? The first equation is PV raised to gamma is equal to constant. PV raised to gamma is equal to constant, where gamma equal to Cp divided by Cv. Specific heat capacity at constant pressure, specific heat capacity at constant volume. Already you studied about this point in the chapter thermal properties of matter, and in this process we are using the equations PV raised to gamma equal to constant. Second one, TV raised to gamma minus 1 is equal to constant, and third one, Tp raised to 1 minus gamma divided by gamma is equal to constant. These three equations we are using in adiabatic process. Remember, P is pressure, V is volume, T is temperature, and what is gamma? Gamma is the ratio of specific heat capacity of gases, that is Cp divided by Cv. What is adiabatic process? How it takes place, explanation, then conditions, PV diagram, equations. These 5 points we have to remember carefully. Then, now we can derive an expression for work done in adiabatic process. And this derivation carries 5 marks for your board examination. Yes, here again I am going to consider ideal gas or perfect gas, which is in a cylinder having pressure P, volume V, and we are going to consider the complete wall and the piston. Both are made of non-conducting material, so that there is no exchange of heat energy takes place between system and surrounding. When the gas is allowed to expand, so we have to move the piston through the small distance. Yes. So we considered this is a cylinder. This cylinder contains perfect gas and it is enclosed by the piston. So the wall and the piston both are made of non-conducting material. It contains perfect gas. So we are applying a certain force on the piston. Piston is moving inside. Now it reaches this position. So this piston is traveling a distance of, it is displaced dx. So small amount of work is done. The small work done by the gas is given by. So first we can consider small work done by the gas is given by, small work done is denoted by dW is equal to force into displacement. So in place of force, we know that pressure is force per unit area. So we can write in place of force as pressure into area into dx. Or we can write here pressure A into dx means it is equal to volume P into dV. So let us consider dW equal to P into dV. Let us take it as equation number 1. This is a small work done by the gas. So now we have to consider total work done by the gas. Total work done by the gas when it expands from volume V1 to initial volume V1 to V2. So we can write integration here for total work done. We have to integrate equation number 1 with respect to time from the limit V1 to V2. So now we can write integration of dW is equal to integration of P into dV from the limit V1 to V2. So when we integrate work done, so small work done integrate, we will get a total work done W is equal to integration of P into dV from the limit V1 to V2. Let us take it as equation number 2. So now we have to solve equation number 2 to get a total work done. So here I am going to consider for ideal gas, for 1 mole of gas. For 1 mole of gas, we have this equation. PV raised to gamma is equal to constant, that is denoted by K. So this equation I am using here, or we can write here P equal to K divided by V raised to gamma. So let us take it as equation number 3. So this equation 3 I am going to substitute in equation number 2. Substitute or put equation 3 in equation number 2. So what is equation 2? Observe here. Total work done W equal to integration of P into dV. So I am going to write equation 2 once again. W equal to integration of P into dV from the limit V1 to V2. Substitute here W equal to integration of what is P. In place of P I can write K divided by V raised to gamma into dV from the limit V1 to V2. Now let us consider the constant terms outside. K we can take outside, remaining is 1 by v raised to gamma into dv from the limit v1 to v2, or we can write here k capacities integration of 1 by v raised to gamma can be written as v raised to minus gamma into dv from the limit v1 to v2. Let us take it as equation number 4. Here we can use a standard equation. We know that integration of x raised to n into dx is equal to x raised to n plus 1 divided by n plus 1. So this equation we can utilize here. Therefore, equation 4 can be written as w equal to k capacities integration of v raised to minus gamma. N means what here? Minus gamma. So we can write the equation as v raised to minus gamma plus 1 divided by minus gamma plus 1 from the limit v1 to v2. So, or we can write this equation as w equal to, before applying the limit we can take that minus gamma plus 1 take outside, remaining is v raised to minus gamma plus 1 from the limit v1 to v2. Now it is easy to apply the limit k divided by minus gamma plus 1 capacities, upper limit minus lower limit, v2 raised to minus gamma plus 1 minus v1 raised to minus gamma plus 1, upper limit minus lower limit. So let us take it as equation number 5. Or this equation can be written as w equal to 1 divided by minus gamma plus 1 capacities. K we can take into the bracket. It is multiplied here. K into v2 raised to minus gamma plus 1 minus k into v1 raised to minus gamma plus 1. So we got this equation. What is the equation here? W equal to, we got 1 divided by minus gamma plus 1 into bracket k into v2 raised to minus gamma plus 1 minus k into v1 raised to minus gamma plus 1. We got this equation, right? Or w equal to, let us multiply it by negative sign. So we will get minus gamma plus 1 becomes gamma minus 1. Let us multiply it by negative sign. And into bracket plus becomes minus, plus into minus is minus gamma plus 1. It will become plus minus gamma plus 1. Let us multiply it by negative sign, or we can write here it as 1 divided by gamma minus 1 capacities. This equation can be written as, first we can write positive terms k into v1 raised to minus gamma plus 1 minus k into v2 raised to minus gamma plus 1. Is it clear? So now I am going to consider the equation. We know that P1 V1 raised to gamma is equal to P2 V2 raised to gamma is equal to constant. So this term I am going to consider. That means in place of k we can write P1 V1 raised to gamma. So therefore above equation becomes W equal to 1 by gamma minus 1 capacities. In place of k we have to write P1 V1 raised to gamma, remaining is v1 raised to minus gamma plus 1 minus, in place of k here we can write p2 v2 raised to gamma v2 raised to minus gamma plus 1, right? So in place of k we wrote p1 v1 raised to gamma p2 v2 raised to gamma, or this equation can be written as 1 by gamma minus 1 capacities. So now you can observe P1 capacities, bases are same, power is added. So we get gamma minus gamma will get cancelled, V1 raised to 1 minus P2. So again bases are same, power is added, gamma will get cancelled, we got V2. So P1 V1 minus P2 V2. Is it clear? Or it can also be written as, in place of PV we can write RT. According to perfect gas equation, we know that PV equal to RT. So therefore, this equation can be written as Therefore, we can write W equal to 1 by gamma minus 1 capacities. So, in place of P1 V1, I am going to write mu R T1. So, mu is number of moles minus in place of P2 V2, we can write mu R T2 because R is a constant, universal gas constant, mu is number of moles. Or we can write this equation as take constant terms outside. Number of moles, universal gas constant is the same. Take outside gamma minus 1 capacities. Remaining is T1 minus T2. So this is the total work done in adiabatic process. So this is for mu moles of gas. So if it contains only 1 mole of gas, so the equation can be written as W equal to R divided by gamma minus 1 into T1 minus T2. So this is the final equation for work done in adiabatic process. So this derivation carries 5 marks for your examination. Then observe the note point. The first point they had given, if the gas is expanded adiabatically, then work done by the gas is positive, therefore temperature decreases. Yes, we know that when work is done by the gas is expanded, volume increases, pressure decreases, temperature also decreases, so we can take it as positive. If the gas is compressed adiabatically, when gas is compressed, volume decreases, pressure increases, temperature also increases, so we can take it as negative. So now you can observe differences between isothermal process and adiabatic process. So till now we have studied about isothermal and adiabatic process in detail. We know the definition, equation, PV diagram, condition, explanation, and at last the work done equations. So what is the first difference? In isothermal process, temperature remains constant, so therefore delta T, small change in temperature, is equal to 0. In adiabatic process, no heat is added or removed, no exchange of heat energy takes place, therefore Q is equal to 0 in adiabatic process. Isothermal process, the changes occurs slowly, the process should take place very slowly, but in adiabatic process, that exchange or the process should take place very faster, suddenly. Then the third difference, the system is thermally conducting to the surrounding. It means the exchange of heat takes place between system and surrounding in isothermal, but here the system is thermally insulated from the surrounding. Here it is not in contact with the surrounding. Fourth point, the internal energy of the system does not change. Internal energy does not change. Internal energy means what? Temperature. Temperature here it does not change. But in adiabatic process, internal energy of the system changes. The next point, specific heat becomes infinite. For isothermal, specific heat is 0 for adiabatic. So you know the equation, that is entropy, ds equal to dq divided by dt. Is it clear? So in this process, dt is 0, dq divided by 0. Anything divided by 0 means what? Infinity. So specific heat becomes infinity or infinite in isothermal. But in adiabatic process, what happens? So here the equation ds equal to what? dq divided by dt. Here dq is 0. 0 divided by dt equal to what? 0. But here it is infinity. Right? Then next point. Equations of the process. In this process, we are using PV equal to constant. In adiabatic process, PV raised to gamma equal to constant we are using. Then last difference, the final equation, total work done by the system is given by W equal to mu RT log V2 by V1 to the base E. Or you can write 2.303 mu RT log V2 by V1 to the base 10. And for adiabatic process, work done by the system is given by W equal to mu R divided by gamma minus 1 into T1 minus T2. So these are the some differences between isothermal and adiabatic process. In your examination, it carries 3 marks. Write the differences between isothermal and adiabatic process. So for 3 marks, we have to remember 3 points. For 5 marks, we have to remember any 5 points. So this is all about isothermal and adiabatic process.